welcome everyone to the City Council meeting for February 2014. Let's rise for the pledge of the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Council members, you have received copies of the minutes of the January 7th meeting. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes? And I would request a motion to approve the minutes as distributed.
I motion that we approve the minutes as distributed.
I second.
Motion by Ms. Judd, second by Ms. Bowman. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, like sign. The minutes are approved. Public request. Moving on. Mayor's report. The project to encapsulate the pond, the old sewage treatment pond, was placed for bids. The initial ad appeared last Friday in the Advocate Democrat. The bids will be opened March the 4th here at City Hall at 2 p.m. If everything goes well, you will either have the opportunity to approve the bid or reject the bids at the regular meeting that evening. Depending on the successful bidder and what information the engineering firm has about them, they can determine whether we can make a final approval or whether we have to make a tentative approval based on all the bidders' documentation checking out. I have to report to you that in January, on 2 occasions, the ammonia level being discharged from our sewage treatment plant was in excess of our permitted levels. Chris Cheetah, our plant operator, attributes this to the fact that we had a tremendous amount of rain in January, and in addition to that, one of the decanters, which is part of the final treatment process, has been offline, and we've been held up getting repair parts to get it back online. The parts have still not come in, so we may very well miss our target on ammonia again in some of the February samples. But the replacement part is on order from a limited supply source, and as soon as we receive it, we'll get it in online and get it back working. And maybe we'll be lucky in this first week of the month. We'll not forecast how much rain we're gonna get in February. I think that the rainfall was more normal, that we probably would get by without.
I guess I don't understand when you say the ammonia level is in the sewage.
They test for, I don't know, something that's being,
Going into the water.
that happens in the process.
Makes the ammonia.
Well, it's supposed to remove, the plant's supposed to remove the ammonia, but we're not removing as much as we should have. And there's still some that's getting through to the discharge. Our auditors are scheduled to be here on February the 17th. I don't know whether they will actually start their review at that time, or whether that would be a discussion period, and then they'll go back and come back at a later time to do the, spend their time here going through our books. The USDA changed the rules on us this year. In the past, the requirement has always been that our report had to be in within 180 days of the close of our fiscal year. This year, they changed it to 150 days. So I had to request the auditors to meet the new deadline, and they said they would. But this means that they've got to make an earlier start on their activities here in Crawfordville. Moving on to the financial reports. What we have before us is the year-end financial report for 2013. The balance sheet indicates the funds that we had on hand at the end of the year. Again, I remind you that the T-SPLOST and the LMIG funds are limited in their use to being spent on road projects. And specifically, the LMIG fund has a lot of stipulations as to how the project has to be engineered, and what specifically it must do. So the T-SPLOST funds we can basically spend to repair and build roads in any manner that is consistent with the DOT standards. Taxes receivable delinquent, we have filed 5 days against, I believe, all delinquent properties through 2012, is that correct? And, I have signed an agreement with a collection firm which will begin recontacting the property owners, and then begin the process of advertising in the local paper, and putting these properties up for sale if the taxes are not paid. The firm cost us nothing. All them funds are added on top of the taxes that are due, and when they collect them, they keep their cut. Moving on to the revenue and expense budget. The first one for the general fund. It shows our total income for the year was $2,500 more than we budgeted for, and that our total expenses for the year were $4,800 less than budgeted for. Going to the individual expense items, the next one is the cost of general government. The budget was for $131,000. We spent $129,000. The cost of the judicial, the budget was $690, we spent $606. Public safety, the budget was $34,000, we spent $33,500. Public works, the budget was $26,998, we spent $25,000. Recreation and culture and recreation. The budget was $13,700. We spent $13,700. The funds to support garbage collection that are over and above the revenues that we get from garbage collection. We budgeted $5,500, we spent $5,295. Any questions on the government operation? Okay, the next sheet is the enterprise operations. Again, you see that we had funds in the bank that certainly appear to be adequate to cover any needs that the city may have. The first revenue and expense sheet is for the water and sewer operation. We budgeted $97,000 in revenue. We received $198,000. We budgeted $197,000. We received $198,000. The expenses, we budgeted to spend $212,900. We spent $195,900. The next is the solid waste operation. We budgeted $37,000. We spent $37,000. tax revenue. We budgeted to receive 37,000, and we received 37,000. We budgeted to spend 42,400. We spent 42,400. And as we had previously said, under the government operations, we budgeted to receive a supplement of 5,500, and we actually received the supplement of $5,285. Overall, I would say we had a successful year. That is really all that we have. There's no old business, there's no new business. Is there anything any council member wishes to bring up?
I went to the, oh, go ahead, Bob.
Wait, I'm not important, wait.
I went to Family Connection meeting last night, and they were, with the school, the principal, they were wondering, is it possible to have like a little street dance on one of the streets over here, and just close it off on one little spot? I mean, what would the cost be? Or do we need to be on the agenda for that? Well, I said I would inquire.
Yeah, sometime.
Yeah.
Well, they need to give us a specific
Yeah, we were thinking about May.
request about
So we
time
We
and
need a
hours and
in writing.
in writing,
Okay.
you know, lay it all out,
Okay,
preferably with a map.
okay,
And they need to talk with the sheriff to be sure that, because we don't have any law enforcement, so
Okay.
all law enforcement assistance has got to come from the sheriff.
okay. Think about over there by the health department and senior center in that area. But we'll put on in writing.
There's no cost unless the sheriff has a cost.
Okay. I'll get it in writing. We'll see what we can do. We put something in town, put something in town.
You know, we had mentioned having, on that field out there, the football field, well, not football field,
The
but
old
fairground.
Old fairground.
Having had like a community yard sale.
Well,
We had
well,
mentioned something.
you know, the county commissioners set up lighting down there, and, I mean, it's got electrical outlets, everything that you need. It's just a matter of arranging with the county to use it, because that's what it's there for.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how it happened, you did something about the squat thing, but, it actually was a small amount of wood gear on, every street where I live. They did some ditch work and, clip shoulders, some, it's back, I don't know who the hell it was, but it should have happened for it. I was actually at home putting a start on my truck. It was a fair, and water came from City Hall fire hydrant and came all the way down the street and ran out from my truck in my yard. But they changed that this month. That happened back when, it was mayor. But anyway, the water drained a lot different. That happened this month.
I haven't been down there to check, but they're supposed to have fixed the
They did.
driveway next door to you.
They did some work.
And I told them to also be sure they cleaned out the pipe under it,
Oh, it's different down there.
so
Well,
that,
it's,
water could
I
flow
was-
through it, because I
Couldn't
think
say
if the water
100%,
flowing over it is what
but what
caused
happened,
all the soil to be gone from the top.
and the dirt side of the road was actually taller than the highway. You see, water was coming all the way from, in front of City Hall down the street and running right in where I live, and I guess that's at the bottom there. But now most of the water is in the ditch. The water coming in the yard now, the water actually hitting the road, so that makes a world of difference. had first one put in the yard once, and all that got washed down in the creek, because the way the water's coming, it's a lot different there, so it's a lot better. I actually went out over to, I think the clerk office at the courthouse and told, Miss Ruby that, she was, it's better.
Anything else? The, people did come through and fix the, crossings, but, they misinformed me. They did not do Highway 22. I couldn't figure why they needed to do it, since it seemed like it only been about 3 or 4 years since
That
they
was new. I was
They
wondering.
did it, and it was a real disaster before they did.
Mhm. I was wondering, I kept saying, when I get ready to go to work, am I gonna have to go through town? But I never heard a lot of traffic on the road, so I knew they hadn't did anything.
The only thing, they just didn't put, signs on every little street there, because the little street going up in there Cane, if you go up past, Mr. Bates, so you make that little turn, you go up, it wasn't saying that it was closed, and a lot of people had to turn around there, but it wasn't a couple of days.
Well, if there's nothing else, do I hear a motion?
I motion that we adjourn.
This meeting is adjourned.
Ms. Johnson asked me to bring her phone. But they have a senior night at the school, so she's had to stay at the
Just
ticket
ask her
booth.
to make sure she gets that stuff in them too.
Oh, the epic report.
Do you have a copy?
Because,
I ain't got one.
Because those-
She was doing, she's doing a lot of the news.
We don't have till 7.
You did.
Got till
You
7.
got
Print
it.
mine off.
Oh, you did? No, I got one in there, mine came in there.
I can get one.
then did you,
I told, she sent me one, so I just see
I
that.
put mine off the thing today, since I didn't.
yeah, I know now.
Cause they got to go out the 7th, gotta be posted up by the 7th.
I gotta be in here by.
They don't go into it now. They're retained here,
We fax them now.
Oh,
to the ethics.
but they have to be in our
oh, you
hands.
fax them.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's it.
but didn't they get it straightened out, man, that we'll be able to go, or didn't they get something straightened out, I got an email? Or will we
They
still,
did a thing,
Oh, you
something about
won't?
an affidavit.
and you won't have to file if you don't have campaign
Right,
contribution?
and they are trying to get it where, like, small cities, municipalities, and very small counties, that if you don't get over $2,500, that you won't have to file at all.
It won't be
They're
hard.
trying to push that too.
It won't be hard. We'll see. Well, let's hope
They've
that
got
works.
more paper up there than they know what to do with.
I know they do. Y'all have a good one.